Okay, here saying that I am live, but I haven't opened on TV yet, so I'll wait for a little bit. Let's see here. Everybody's working. Let's see. Well, test number one passed. Waiting for test number two and test number three. Which one is? It's the image, and the other one is the sound. Actually, it's the sound first. There you go. Let's see what's going on. Let's see what we have here. Is it buffering? Actually, it's the sound first. There you go. Okay, buffering. It's done. Everything is done. I'm just going to increase a little bit here. Let's see, 720 if I can do it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Listen, yesterday I had 3 videos deleted by the platform. 3. 1 in English and 2 in Portuguese. Which is, this is not the way things are supposed to be. If you want to offer to somebody information, entertainment, and in the process of doing that, you ask people to participate. Like you see here on YouTube that people post and take presence in chats and so forth. And you requested to do that. And then what happened? Because of they don't like what you're saying, because they don't, you know, they don't agree with your points of view, which is part of human relations. We were supposed to agree and disagree. That's the way. That's the fundamental part of society, of civility, of urbanity. That's when people interact with themselves, even if they're not completely into each other, without violence, without insults, without anything that is not normal, as something that is civilized, as socially. Listen, I use 4-letter words. Yes, I do, because they're part of a vocabulary. And when I call somebody a crook or an idiot, it's because that person has proven that he is or she is. So what we have in here, it is a process of involution. People, societies and groups and individuals are walking backwards into evolution. I don't care if they believe in God. I don't care if whatever. You just cannot allow yourself to retrocess, to walk backwards in order to carry society with you. We're having all sorts of, in America, you having these people that defend Trump, even seeing the scumbag that he is. In Brazil, we have the people that defend Bolsonaro, even seeing the scumbag that he is. The lying sack of shit that they are. You know, there's a recent picture of Trump in a plane. It was made by AI. Or IA, yeah. Artificial intelligence, AI, yeah. It was made by AI. Because he never prayed in his fucking entire life. That's the way it is. He's fooling people. Listen, Mark Twain used to say, it's easier to fool people than they admit they were fooled. Or fooled. Yeah. Fooled. I think he works. Anyway, so what happened is people have been taken by a ride, by a joyride, you know, by individuals. They're scumbags, they're crooks. All they want is to make money out of your expense. All they want is to enrich themselves with your money. with your likes, with your presence in church, with your contributions. That's all. Try not to deal with money with those things that I just mentioned. Try not to give any money to churches to see what happens. Try not give any likes to those internet sites to see what happens. Try not to participate into their bullshits to see what happens. So you have the tools. As we say in Brazil, you have the knife, you have the plate, you have the sweets, you have the candy, everything you can cut and eat yourself. Why are you going to give that to other people that you don't even know? People that lie to you. It's not because they're hungry. They're not hungry. You're not saving their lives, giving them something to eat. No. You're enriching them even more because they already have, you see the internet, all those people, those influencers. I hate this word, influencer, because back on the old days, to be influenced was a bad thing. Influenced and manipulated were the same thing. So today you have those people that just come over and say things for you, the coaches, which is a bunch of bullshit. It's a bunch of idiots. All they want is other idiots to give them money. Like religions. Religions are farces, are frauds, because God does not exist. You have to, yesterday on the video that was deleted, I was talking about Richard Dawkins. I was talking about all those people, Christopher Hitchens. I took a note yesterday. Danielle Dennett, Christopher Hitchens, I have said, Richard Dawkins, and Sam Neill. Yeah, those people have works, have studies to express reality, that there is no a bigger plan, that there is not a constructor of the universe, that there is no somebody that watches on you all the time. This is a big fucking lie. Very wealthy lie, very rich lie, because people making shitloads of money out of it. And stupid people. I'm going to tell you something. I don't know if you're going to believe it or not. But a couple of days ago or yesterday, I saw it on the internet that one of those preachers from Brazil, Brazilian preacher, who is calling himself a preacher because he wants to. He doesn't have any academic studies. He doesn't have any formation in any faculty, in any college. He doesn't have a course specific to preach religion. He doesn't. Theocracy is just a word. They don't have any kind of study on theocracy. All they do is put a Bible under their armpit and go say that they're preachers. So this guy, the Bible in the armpit, he did something that I'm sure if you're Jewish and if you live in the United States, you know how Jewish people praise their temples, their sacred areas in Israel. So this obtuse nincompoop goes to the Wailing Wall with the Bible at hand and try to preach the Bible at hand, with the Bible at hand. Try to preach Christianity to Jews. Because in Brazil, they believe that Israel is a friend of the Christians, when it's not, because there was the Jews that crucified, that gave the authority to the Romans to crucify Christ, because they didn't see Christ as the Messiah, but another prophet, and they had a shitload of prophets then. So this idiot goes over there, and then he's harassed by everybody. They start dancing, they start singing, they start calling him, they start to putting the Torah in front of him so he could not show his fucking Bible. This guy, he went to the Wailing Wall, sacred place for Jews, not for Christians, not for Muslims, but for Jews. As the wall, as the Wailing Wall it is. It's not a sacred place for Muslims or for Christians. For Christians, for Muslims, you have the big temple, the dome of I forgot the name. I'm not a religious man, so I'll remember the name and I'll put it back down. Uh, and then for Christians, you have the Saint Sepulchre. So you have those places specifically because everybody on their niche, everybody on their place. You cannot go invade the other people's area of domain, area of professing their religion, their belief, right or wrong. For me, it's wrong, but it doesn't matter at this point. So those people go over there, and this individual specific go over there, and he's try to preach the Bible in the Wailing Wall because they never read the Bible. They don't know there were the Jews that told Pontius Pilatus if that happens, because there's a lot of things that proven that didn't happen. But let's say it was the Jews that told Pontius that Barabbas, we prefer Barabbas. So Christ was crucified by the Jews. The Romans crucified him physically. That's true. They tortured him. They seviciated him. They did all the evil things the Romans used to do with slaves and punish people that were being punished. They did all that shit to him. But were the Jews that told that he was supposed to be the one to go through all that suffering instead of Barabbas? So that's the way it is. But those idiots they never read the fucking Bible. So they don't know that this is the reality. That you're not going to a Jewish area or place of worship and try to impose your religion on them. So he was kicked out of there, which I think he should even take some kind of slaps on the face so he would learn. Never go back there again. That the Jews are not friendly for Christians, as they are not friendly for Muslims. They tolerate them because of Israel, and they're in a war right now, a war of atrocities, a genocide. They're practicing genocide against Muslims, against Palestinians. So it's the way it is. And you don't go over there and try to impose your view, your God, your bullshit to somebody else's bullshit. So that's why I'm talking about it. And the process of involution, it's not just with Brazilians, it's everywhere, all around the world. I said yesterday, we are going back 100 years. 1922, Mussolini in parliament with a party, with a fascist party entering parliament, and him becoming El Duce. 1923, Hitler started his climbing, social climbing, from a guy that had to sleep on the streets to a man that becomes one of the richest men in Europe, if not the richest man in Europe. With well-cutted suits and cars with drivers and all those followers and all the money coming in from the sale of Mein Kampf. And he got rich, and rich beyond his ever believes. And become the Führer, become the leader of a nation, become the supreme ruler of an army that had several million people in it, including the population that was dragged on, children included, to protect him even when he was dead already. So this is it. That's what I'm talking about, the process of involution. That's when people are walking backwards through the process, the evolutionary process. We can see that every day. We don't have any more intelligent movies. Our movies are pieces of crap. Movies made just for box office, immediate success, and then go to streaming. Because people are not interested in make something something that there's durable. that people of many generations can watch. No, they're making things for seconds, for just one view. And books, every time the books are getting even worse and more stupid. Idiocracy is a movie that represents what we became. Go watch Idiocracy. Yesterday I told people about that and it was deleted my video. So today I'm putting it again. I don't care if they're going to delete my video or not. So that's a very important thing that we have to understand, that we need to evolve. We need to walk forward as a species. We need to read more books. We need to illustrate ourselves more and more, and not just become lazy with a cell phone in the hand, watching pictures of the pussycats and pussies and little doggies and bullshit. No, go read your history. Nobody knew that in 2022, 2023, and now in 2024, we have 100 years of the Nazi fascism implantation in Europe, positioning themselves as a structure, a political structure in Europe. And then it came to the rest of the world. The United States have it still today, a Nazi party. Brazil, I think it was the biggest conglomerate of Nazis because we had the integralism and before that. And so you have all this shit. Before it, with, and during, of course. That Brazil only went on the Allied side in the war because we were advised by Roosevelt when he came to Brazil and told the dictator Getúlio Vargas they like it. They enjoy Hitler and Mussolini's and Franco and Salazar's point of view. We rule and people obey. That was their point of view. So Getúlio Vargas was also a dictator, and he wanted to be joining to join the Axel, the Nazis, the fascists. He wanted that. But Roosevelt told him, if you do that, we're going to take Natal. We're going to take the whole north of Brazil. And they would. So, and then he had to change sides. But before that, him and the Supreme Court had sent it as a present to Hitler, a Jewish Russian woman that was a wife of a communist leader here in Brazil, Luiz Carlos Prestes. And she was sent it as a gift to Hitler, pregnant of her born and survival of the Holocaust, Anita Leocádia Prestes, who today is on her 90s. But her mother was killed 2 years after in a gas chamber after she was born. So anyway, this is the way it is. We are going back to all that. Concentration camps. Could be. Because people don't study history. They don't know that concentration camps were not an invention of the Nazis, were an invention of the British. The British invented concentration camps in the Boers War in the late 1800s in South Africa. So think of that. Think of that. Australia also was a penal colony. So people should understand what's going on. That we are going back to all that shit, to all those things that have killed millions, hundreds of millions of people. World War I, World War II, Cold War, everything killed people. They don't kill leaders. They don't kill the ones that create the wars. I think the last one was Ceausescu. And before him, it was the Tsar and his family, the Romanovs. So people don't know that what I'm talking about. Because they're too stupid to go and stop and read a book to try to see similarities what is happening today. We have fascists. You're going to have an election in the States now. We're also going to have one in Brazil for the lower chamber, for mayor office. But we're going to have an election that the right wings are poised to win. They are front runners for mayor, for lower house. So they're there, and they're back, and they're going to do exactly what they want, which is kill people and steal, and be corrupted, and make people pay for their lives, for their lifestyles, for their riches, using God or using military force. Be police, be the military itself. But God is the number one ariat. God is the number one breaker of gates, gates of civility, gates of intelligence, gates of responsibility, gates of human interaction. Not this shit that we have. No, human interaction. Those gates are broken by this ariat that is religion. They want a theocracy, like the Taliban. They want to be the Talibans of Christ. That's what they want, Talibans of Christ. So people are using all my expressions of years. Today I was listening on the television, on the internet, people saying exactly the same things that I said 10, 12, 14, 15 years ago. That was going to happen, and it did. So I am ignored. Okay, no problem. I'll come back again and again and again and again, as long as I feel willing to do it. So anyway, it's 21 minutes. Yeah, I thank you, people that watch. Uh, my friend that I still have not, because maybe she haven't seen the videos yet. She is not authorized. She has not authorized me to put her name, so I'm not going to say. But she knows who she is, and I wish everybody a moment of reflection. Stop and think. Stop and evaluate. Stop and look at yourselves. Look at what's empty in your existence, which is knowledge, which is knowledge of history, and see the history repeating itself. The next step is World War III. That's the truth. Thank you. Take care.